Riding the rails, baby. That's the next one in the delivery system of power punches for MMA. You heard about that term, riding the rails. Now, I'll give you a little history lesson about it. Jack Dempsey, in my business, in boxing, heavyweight champ back in the 20s to 30s, great fighter. He was as big as Babe Ruth. I mean, back in those days, boxing was the biggest sport, bigger than baseball in the country. So he was huge, Jack Dempsey. And he was a hobo. A lot of people don't know that. He was a hobo. That's what they called him back in those days. Now they call him bums or homeless, whatever. And he would ride the rails, literally, and you could die very easily. A lot of them did, quite frankly. They would ride the rails underneath the trains to get a free ride from town to town. They'd hold on to the rails, and they'd get off at the whatever stop. And then when they would get to that town, he would fight. And he would fight for room and board. You know, there'd be a fight in every town or a lot of towns. And he would fight for room and board and food.
It's a tough life.
Yeah. And, well, when I say room and board, I guess that includes food. But, yeah, I mean, he was conditioned to be heavyweight champ before he ever officially started learning the art of the sweet science. You know, he was mentally, 75% of this game, your game, is mental, is being hard, being strong, you know, being able to find a way through things, to find a light in a dark place when it looks like there is no light, but find a light because there's always a light. So this is what I came up with the name, Riding the Rails, and it's obviously similar to that. You're gonna ride this punch along the rails of the jab. That's gonna be your entry point. Like I said, it's gotta be a delivery system to get the bombs to the target.
Okay.
For the MMA, for people in my business, whatever it is. And the way we're gonna do this, just to show the principle. Now again, it comes down to range. You have to be aware of these little fellas with 5 little toes there. You got them clipped, good. That's good. You got to be aware of where that comes, where it can come from, where those kicks can come from, where that danger zone is. You got to be aware of that. You got to be aware of his tendency. Is he more of a striker? Is he, you know, where's his weight again? If his weight is on the back foot, then the front kick's probably coming. Am I correct?
Yes.
If the weight is on then he's probably shifting over for that. You know, if it, where would it be? Probably even if it was coming up the middle with a front kick, right? Yeah. So I'm learning. I'm learning, baby. So you got to be aware of all of that.